Hello, hello. Oh, boy. Listen, I am pumped. Oh, hello, besties. How are we doing? Oh my God. You know, I am pumped when I am early, okay? You know, your girl is excited about this when I'm so much early to work than I usually am. Listen, this is the best thing that's ever happened to me in the history of forever. Being right is like a drug. You don't understand? I've been awake the entire night because this all started for me. I don't know about the rest of you. There's this creator and her name is Natalia, okay? And Natalia, I got really lucky. Natalia is Hispanic. She's from Latin America. So she speaks main language Spanish. And she said on her Twitter, this is where it all started for me 19 hours ago, okay? Natalia, she has had some controversies, okay? But no one has been able to prove that Natalia is a liar. And with the more leaks and everything else that has been coming out, my girl Natalia, not a liar, okay? I cannot pronounce Sirinova, Natalia Sirinova. She says, and I will translate it for you. Guess who got a review code from Dragon Age the Veilguard? Bioware just sold his soul to the devil. I just had to say I was a non-binary woman and they gave it to me. Get ready for the mega review soon or tomorrow, okay? Natalia, all she had to do was reach out to BioWare and claim to be a non-binary individual to get a review code for Dragon Age the Veilguard. And this was all after people like Wolfhard FPS and Luke Stevens were crying on social media about how they didn't get a review code because they were in short supply and they were limited. So, a lie on BioWare's part. And I said that. I said that on my video today. I said it the other day. Fixtra also didn't get a code. A lie. It's a lie. People are saying, oh no, they do have limited. Obviously, they don't. Because they are choosing to give Natalia, Natalia, my girl, I love you. You are a menace. Keep doing what you do. But Natalia, who is not a popular content creator, they gave her a code because she claimed to be non-binary, but they didn't give it to Fixer Live, to Luke Stevens, and to Wolfhard FPS, who they flew to play the game. So lies. I think Gemini, it's one of my followers, asked Natalia, with reason, I don't really believe you. And she posted screenshots of her having unlocked 0.18% of gamers unlocked this. Demi Ratha's job. We have gone over the achievements already. That means that she had, at the time of this screenshot, she had done the tutorial mission of you go in with Vareg and Hardin and Neff to find Solas and interrupting the ritual. So yeah, she has indeed played it. Cry me a river if you don't believe it. I don't give a And the thing is, you may not believe Natalia, okay? You may not believe her. But yeah, like Billy is saying, Natalia got a copyright strike from BioWare and got her tweet taken down. So that tells me, I mean, call me crazy, that tells me that if you think someone is lying about something, which a lot of people have, about other games in this game, and you know that she's lying, that her claims have zero validity, you wouldn't go out of your way to copyright strike someone. Unless she is, as she said to me in the DM, she is under an NDA. Because it's not something like, oh, you have to go there, you have to sign. No, it's literally like an email that they send you, and you have to click like, yeah, I accept, I understand, da, 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 and it's you sign an NDA, and she did that to get the copy, like the review code, okay? And that lets me to believe that she was very much telling the truth, and that's where I'm gonna stick with. Also, it's not just Natalia. There has been other content creators who have been leaking clips. And screenshots for, the entirety of yesterday before the embargo was lifted. And they were absolutely revolted by the game. With reason, because the can of worms has just opened for completely today. And it is so much worse than anything that I could. Listen, you know me. Most of you know me, if not 99% of you. You know, this past month, I've been preparing myself for the worst, okay? For the worst. I have. And brother, I couldn't for the life of me. Even if you put a gun to my head and ask me, think about the worst thing that they could have done and say it out loud, I would have been dead. I would have been shot in the head, because not in my worst nightmare would I have been able to come up with such a bad video game. The way they just completely disregarded plot, lore, story, dialogue in favor of shoehorning gender identity dialogue. Listen, we have seen the plot choices that they give us, and it's 9 out of 10 times two options, okay? And then when it comes to gender identity, you have like 1,700 options about gender identity in a role-playing game. And for people that were coming at me, okay? For the people that were saying that John Dragon Age was my cousin, and I paid John Dragon Age, to lie to you, to lie to my audience. Get absolutely, you can jump on here, you can and pedal. This is crazy. Some of my friends in Main Rathos talk about not feeling comfortable in their own skin. As a man, as a woman, this comes from Tash talking to Nebe about how she doesn't feel like a woman or a man. Right? And then this is Natalia getting copyright striked. And this is where the screenshot came from. And this person says, I've had the unfortunate task of reviewing this game and just finished. I know you're all making fun of this turd, but it's worse than you think. First off, regarding all the woke, there's a lot. Remember how John Dragon Age said, Tash straight out says, I am non-binary. She says this, by the way. There is screenshots of these words. It's not like, oh, I don't identify as a man or as a woman. I wonder if we can come up with a new term. No. Literally just says straight up, I'm non-binary. Like, that means anything in the world of fetus. This is my favorite franchise of all time. And they're just pulling literally like turds off out of their asshole and hurling it at me. And I'm not here for it, okay? I'm upset. Which is probably also why they designed her to look like one. In the spoilers below is a pic from a fairly early conversation, the one we just saw. In case you're actually self-harming people among you intending to play this, I am. Where Tash is talking about how she wants to dress like a man, that she hates dresses, and then no one wants to be a woman, and so on, and Nev is trying to cheer her up. To be fair, there's actually an option to not sympathize and essentially tell Tash to get her shit together in this combo, though it's inconsequential. Anyway, point is, it's woke as f***. Now, that's all well and good, but it gets a lot worse because regardless of political and ideological agendas, if we're looking at this game from a purely mechanical perspective, it still reeks. I can give you an example of a single mechanic I enjoyed. The crafting is laughable, itemization is horrible, character builds and progression are meaningless, and the combat is the worst offender. It's beyond simplistic, with every class and subclass feeling largely the same. The enemies all feel the same too, and the only difficulty the game provides stems from enemies having an absurd amount of health, making a lot of fights a real slog. New enemies appear out of nowhere, attacking you in waves. You might think you're going up against 3 Darkspawn, but nah, have fun grinding down these 6 ways of teleporting that'll never kill you but take 10 minutes to finish off. The absolute worst part of combat is the way the party works. You don't have a party, not really. Mechanically, it works like a card deck builder. You see, your 2 companions are immortal. They have no health bars, and aren't targeted nearly as much by enemies in battles like yourself. They're mostly ignored and do little damage besides. Instead, they only serve one real purpose in battles, for you to use their abilities. I wonder who said this. I wonder who said all of this. Every single bit of this. I wonder who said this. I don't know. I wonder. They can have 3 equipped at a time, as can you, and these ability cards are the only stuff that does any significant damage. You're supposed to figure out combos, but there's nothing to figure out. Use ability X to give an enemy the effect Y, then use ability Z that does extra damage against enemies affected by Y. It's banal at best. Moreover, all these abilities come with a cooldown. A cooldown they share, meaning once you use all of 3 go on cooldown. There's a few exceptions to this, which means you'll spend most of your time simply auto-attacking and dodging enemies while waiting for the cooldown to end. Nothing redeemable about this shit. I've been saying this since minute 1, okay? You are not gonna catch me be like Maddie plays here and other that actually got to play the game and were like, oh my god, this is the best Dragon Age ever. BioWare is so back. All my worries were put to rest. And then the moment they got the code and they saw the internet catching on fire, they're like, actually, it's not a good game. I've been a hater since day 1. I'm not a turncoat, okay? I've been hating on this since day 1. There are a lot of them. Listen. Yeah, we have this where beep it, eyes on me. Eyes on me. What does it say here? Non-binary. I just said, and I'm going to use they instead of she from now on. Non-binary. I want all of you who doubted, listen, all of you who doubted John Dragon Age, I want you all to kneel and pray for forgiveness. Right now. You guys can call me a grifter, you can call me a rage baiter, you can call me all you want. At the end of the day, I will always win, okay? I am always right. I don't talk for the sake. Come here. I don't talk for the sake of just talking okay? I talk because I'm a hater at heart. It's in my veins, okay? This level of hatred, you guys cannot even achieve in 3 lifetimes, okay? This is as good as it gets. I'm just seething right now. Seething because I'm being validated. They're trying to own the chuds and it's like, well, it's really good, and they're just proving over and over and over again that they have been lying to their audience because they have been keeping this under wraps, okay? Because I was one of the ones that were saying at the beginning that there's no way that they're gonna actually like code being transgender into the game. Yeah, they did that. They did that at the expense of the story and the lore and the gameplay and the voice acting and every single thing, okay? Every single thing they have just shoved aside to make this a woke simulator. There has never been something like this in the history of forever. Dashboard is better than this. Unknown 9, 10 times better than this. Forspoken, 1,000 times better than this. Insanity. And the way they have been just quiet like the little they are, because people were guessing. I have been guessing every single beat of this game. Forever. The leaks came out, silent as the grave, okay? And people that like this game, people that have been sucking every shield's for a month, were in my comment section when I was talking to John Dragon Age, and he said, oh no, she literally says, I am non-binary. And were, no, they refer to her as she, her in the podcast, and they only refer to her as like she, her here. Oh, of course. Yeah, take a long hard look in it, kid. it always shows the face of a hero who can get it done. And there you go. Establishes transgender identity and unlocks new dialogue options in future conversations. You know what doesn't unlock, new dialogue options? Anything you do, because they were too busy coding this in to actually make choices matter. Your choices in a role-playing game don't matter. The game is linear as they come, and it has action RPG in the labels. The only thing you can roleplay in this game, it's what flavor of woke you are, okay? And again, I don't care if anyone in chat is trans, lesbian, black, Asian, I don't give a This is what I'm talking about. When I say woke, I mean this. When I mean woke is, I don't know, I think most of us are fans of Dragon Age, or at least we're familiar with Dragon Age. How are you gonna bring terms like transgender and non-binary into a fantasy game in a world where there's magic and there's blood magic and there's to pull this insanity? You guys need to be locked in a mental institution. You guys need to be forbidden from going in social media and accessing the internet ever again. I hope you guys are out of work for the rest of your miserable lives. And you know what? That's what's gonna happen, because you guys have been out there, and I'm talking about you, Corinne Bush, and you, John Epler, and you, Patrick Weeks. No one is gonna ever buy nothing that you guys touch. You losers, go work at a McDonald's. Go do any else than touch games that have been a staple in the genre and really close to people's hearts, and just do this to them. Make your own P, you sick where, how, explain to me right now. Explain to me how this fits in the established lore, in the established world building. I'll tell you, because I'm a nerd, and I've been a fan of this franchise for 15 years, okay? And I know all the ins and outs at this point better than the people that wrote it. And let me tell you, not once in the history of ever was this ever mentioned. Ever. I hate them. I hate them with passion, and I hope nothing but the worst on these people, because they keep putting their fingers where they don't belong, okay? And I don't like it. Oh, who is she? Who is she? I am ready. I'm like half upset, half completely validated, okay? This has been long in the making.
Dragon Age the Veilguard review. We're going to be talking about why we're actually not doing a review for the Veilguard today, why this should matter to you, and why it's important. We don't normally make videos like this on the Fex for Life YouTube channel. We typically stay out of drama. You'd be hard-pressed to find more than a handful of these across the entire 3,000 some odd videos we've ever made. But what I want to talk about today is going to impact the way that you watch reviews today.
This is important, guys. This is really important that you guys just need to hear this, okay? You guys need to hear what Bioware did to me. Boo fucking who? What do you mean this is gonna impact the way people look at reviews? I have been saying this. I have been saying, hey, their opinion is not unbiased. Their opinion and, their overall feeling about the game, it's 100% gonna be swayed by the fact that they got one and dined, that they got, chosen by BioWare. They were special, and they felt special. So whether BioWare and the developers and the PR team and the game director, whatever those people said or not, hey, do a positive review, doesn't matter. They don't have to outright say, you need to do a positive review. They don't have to say that. They're whining and dining you. They're paying for your stay. They're, treating you like a special cookie. Of course, you're gonna be swayed. And you're gonna go, towards the the end of maybe I shouldn't be talking shit about this game. Like, they have been really nice to me, so maybe, obviously, but now that you got sidelined and you got humiliated publicly, just like Wolfhard FPS and Luke Stephens, now it's a problem. Now this whole like access journalism, it's an issue because it's not making you money anymore. I said that to Luke Stephens as well. The only reason we are hearing them complain about this, it's because they didn't get a code. Don't let them, cry all over you. This is just manipulation, emotional manipulation. At the end of the day, they made a choice. In front of them was, hey, integrity or money. And they went, whoop. And let me tell you, I love money. Listen, all of you, you're making me money right now. Everyone on YouTube, you're making me money. Thank you. It's my job. But at the end of the day, integrity in the long run makes you more money than cashing out immediately. Did Extra Life, I didn't watch his video. Did Extra Life make a video when he got wine and dine? Like on those 7 hours, like those first 7 hours, like a month ago. Did he make a video on that? And if he did, what was his opinion overall? Skeptically optimistic. So he's a shill. Okay. So he's a shill, and he's just a bitter shill.
That game launched, so we've been covering Dragon Age for at least 10 years, maybe longer. And Fex also managed to rescue the Dragon Age forums when BioWare was bought by EA because they were shutting down those forums. We got permission from BioWare to rescue those forums,
I don't care about
them,
this.
and import them onto the Fextra Life forums.
I don't care.
You can still find those Dragon Age forums today on our site. We've been in constant communication with EA and BioWare for years about this title. We've been assured
that's not a flex. That is not the flex you think it is. Thank you.
We're getting a code multiple times over the years. We've been in constant communication with them. They keep sending us stuff about the game. We've also been covering the game during that time with constant news articles.
Why do you think, like, again, it's just about bitterness. This is about, oh, we were played. No, you were not played, okay? You have been a good dog, and that's just the bottom line. You have been a good dog, and you have been in BioWare's good graces for a very long time, and you have been giving them literally free publicity,
sending
dude.
us stuff about the game. We've all
Free publicity. Dragon Age: The Veilguard global launch times revealed. Dragon Age: The Veilguard unveils its launch trailer. You have been doing this until a few days ago. Dragon Age: The Veilguard does not require playing the previous games. Dragon Age: The Veilguard has gone gold. Dragon Age: The Veilguard will let you sabotage your company's relationships. Dragon Age: The Veilguard PvP hands-on gameplay impression. You have been bending over and taking it up the ass for months already. Not even the past month. You have said that you have been in communication for months before that. And now you feel betrayed and you feel upset because you have been sucking their for free. This is what happened with Wolfhard FPS. This is what happened with Luke Stephens. And this is what's happening with Extra Life. You guys are just upset that you're not getting the same special treatment as the minorities that we have been warning you are the ones that are being like pandered to and are the actual audience for this game, the target audience. And you guys have been like, la 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 la, I cannot hear you. No, no, no. BioWare loves me. And now you want me to do what? Feel bad for you? Like, I don't. If you had gotten a code, otro gallo cantaría. Another rooster would be singing.
If you watch that video, the general sentiment is that we were cautiously optimistic about the game. We praised its
Why?
gameplay, character depth, but we weren't.
Gameplay and character depth. Can you see my nails? Can you see my nails? I'll get you closer. I'm sorry. These two. I just did them yesterday. Can you see them? I don't have sympathy for people that if they had access to this, wouldn't be making this, emotionally manipulating content, okay?
about the storytelling in the long run, although we only got to play a very little bit at time, so we weren't entirely sure. And in general, we didn't.
So how are you gonna say? How are you gonna be skeptically optimistic if you now are? Because you should have done. Did you see what I'm talking about? You should have been 100% transparent in your opinions since moment one. But we know now that the reality is you were not allowed to. And that's the tea, bestie. You guys were not allowed. Everything you have said has been perfectly orchestrated. And has been perfectly picked. And is scripted. What you guys weren't expected was for Bioware, or but calling it a Bioware, it's even hurts to this day. What you weren't expecting was for the clowns at Bioware, what's left over of Bioware, to be incapable at doing the bare minimum at their job. That's what you were not expecting from a company such as Bioware. That they would just shoot themselves in the mouth over and over and over and over again while your name was tied to it. It's like, Bioware and every single shell, they were chained together. And Bioware, we didn't even have to push it into the sea. It jumped by itself. And now you're all drowning. All of you are drowning. And whose fault is it? Yours. It's your fault. It's not mine. It's yours.
Didn't really like the character models, the design style of them, which I think a lot of people don't. In general, it was a pretty positive impression of the video, and I want to play for you the closing audio from that video right now so you can see what we told our audience at the end of that video. I still have issues with the game, mainly that I don't like the UI and that the dialogues didn't seem to be on par with what you could get in other story-focused games that have come out in the last decade, and that I didn't yet get a point where I felt a bond or much interest with my companions.
Neutrality. Neutrality, it's what you gave us. You were neutral. Then I just say, the critical content creators didn't get a code. You guys don't know what the word critical means. You guys were not critical. You were by Bioware standards, but you were not critical at all. Because at the end of the day, you said it yourself, you were optimistic. You couldn't say anything bad about it.
I was even contacted by another content creator who had attended the event that asked me why my criticisms were worded more cautiously and asked me if I was concerned when I made my video that I'd be denied access to a review code. To which, of course, I replied, no, I'm not worried about getting denied access to a review code. That simply doesn't happen in the gaming industry. But I was not concerned about...
What is it?
Worried about getting denied access to a review code. That simply doesn't happen in the gaming industry. But I was not... concerned about this at all. I reassured him that he shouldn't be concerned about this because it's just not really a thing in the gaming industry. It's so rare that it shouldn't scare someone into not saying what they think about a game. So after publishing our video, nearly immediately our contacts at EA and Bioware stopped replying and communication went to zero. So we started inquiring as to what was happening and reaching out to other contacts.
Literally what happened to Look. This is literally what happened to Look. I know. Fextra Live, Look, Wolfheart FPS, they were all on Discord being like, dude, is she answering your text? She's not talking. Is she answering your text? Look, I haven't heard from her. Like, you guys were played. This is like dating the same bitch. You guys go played by the same, and she stole your money on top of it. Amazing. This is literally, I don't feel bad for these people. First of all, I don't feel bad for them. And this is literally karma. This is what they get. This is what they get. You put your ego over your audience, over being actually transparent towards your audience, and this is what you get.